Our facilities ahead of time. Just dial 0806 836 1706 or 0818 and you have a deal. Patronize us today.
We are located at number 17 to 21 Mercy Clinic Road, Nta Abeokuta, Edo State.
At Israel International Hotel, hospitality.
This is Ikolo community, and this is Watana community. As election time nears, politicians arrive with money. Members of the Ikolo community sell their vote, but Watana community refuses to be settled. They vote for the candidates of their choice.
I do solemnly swear that everything
After election, the Ikolo school needs repairs.
Nta Abeokuta, solid as the rock.
President Buhari restates commitment to support world leaders in addressing climate change. Ogun State Governor drums support for President Buhari, says his government will support initiatives that will assist fallen heroes. Ogun State Police Command naps middle-aged man for beating wife to death. Good evening. Welcome to Channel 12 News and thanks for joining us. My name is Anila Balogo. Now the news in detail. President Muhammadu Buhari has restated Nigeria's commitment towards constructively supporting multilateral actions aimed at addressing climate change so that a healthy environment can be restored for future generations. Addressing world leaders at the United Nations Conference on Climate Change in Katowice, Poland, the president, however, reiterated his call on the international community to support genuine efforts at saving Lake Chad from extinction and guaranteeing future security of the region. SEDA's correspondent Adamu Samba reports that the conference has its theme, Changing Together.
The United Nations Climate Summit here in Katowice, Poland is seen by many as the most important climate negotiation since 2015, when a vision for a zero-carbon future was created through the adoption of the landmark Paris Agreement. World leaders, scientists, and other stakeholders are therefore here to agree on the rules for putting this vision into reality, as well as setting stronger climate action in motion. President Muhammadu Buhari told participants that with the enormous challenges of climate change, which are evident to all, no country can confront the phenomena alone.
Nigeria believes in joint and cooperative efforts to tackle the problem. We urge that efforts to address the challenges of climate change be pursued within multilateral frameworks. Concerted efforts should be made to strengthen sub-regional and regional organizations to serve as hubs for climate action and partnership.
Nigeria, he said, has already commenced the implementation of its nationally determined contribution aimed at achieving 20% emission reduction, and also embraced the issuance of green bond as an innovative and alternative source of funding projects that will provide climate infrastructure.
We believe there should be clearly defined parameters for monitoring financial flows from developed countries to developing economies for climate change action. This should be underpinned by transparency and predictability. Similarly, we stress that a reliable mechanism must be created to augment sector contributions with funds from the private sector of countries whose economies are adding significant levels of greenhouse gases to the global atmosphere.
On the receiving lecture, the president told the conference that interbasin water transfer from Congo Basin remains the most sustainable option for resuscitation and safeguard.
I once again call on the international community to support this worthy project for the benefit of over 40 million people that depend on the Lake Chad for their livelihood and to guarantee future security of the region.
And during the opening of the conference, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres was emphatic that the global community is in deep trouble with climate change, which he said is now a matter of life and death.
I am convening a climate summit for September next year to raise ambition and to mobilize the necessary resources. But that ambition needs to begin here, right now, in Katowice, driven by governments and leaders who understand that their legacies and the well-being of future generations are at stake. We cannot afford to fail in Katowice.
Our new targets for the following 5 years are for the World Bank Group to finance $200 billion to help countries undertake ambitious climate action.
Possible takeaways for Nigeria from this conference? Well, to sensitize the international community, particularly on the issue of the Lake Chad, the recharge in the interbasin transfer is key to the plank of our argument as a Nigerian government. And I believe we are getting more and more people to understand the situation. Key highlight of the opening ceremony was a declaration on solidarity and just transition as a critical pathway towards achieving global climate policy objectives. From Katowice, Poland, Adam Musambo, NTA News.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says traditional rulers should continue to sustain peace advocacy among the people for development of the country. Joshua Ojeta reports that the Vice President stated this during a visit on the Emir of Kefi, Shehu Chinado Yamusa III.
Acknowledging the role of traditional rulers as custodians of people's culture and tradition, the Vice President says they should complement government peace-building process by engaging their subjects in robust dialogue on the need to live in peace. The Vice President emphasizes that the advisory role of traditional rulers is needed most as government sustains its efforts in fixing critical infrastructure in the country.
But I believe that the traditional rulership in our country have earned their place as arbiters in so many different ways, in security, in justice at the local level, and even politically, they have proved that they are very important in the scheme of things. So I think it's an issue that we ought to deliberate more on. I believe that for the peace and security of our country, for the progress of our country, the respect for traditional institutions must continue. The grounds for traditional institutions must continue.
Professor Osinbajo assures Nigerians that the Buhari administration is committed to improving lives of the people through various social investment programs, fixing the economy, and sustaining the fight against corruption in order to redeem the nation's image. Emir of Kefi, Shehu Chindo Yamusa III, acknowledges the giant strides recorded so far by the present administration in the last 3.5 years. He, however, advocates the need for a constitutional role for traditional rulers to enable them discharge their duties effectively.
Although it was not made by this government, but this government can amend it because you are always available for correction. APC is known with correcting all mistakes and anomalies. We need the government to look at this matter.
The Vice President is in Kefi for the grand finale of President Muhammadu Buhari polo tournament. In Kefi, Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
Senate Committee on Education has reiterated its commitment to the provision of quality technical education through necessary legislation that will fast-track federal government job creation drive and diversification of the economy. Chairman of the committee gave the indication when he led other members of the committee on oversight visit to the National Board for Technical Education in Kaduna. Abdullah Muhammad has the details.
The
Before the 2015 elections, three key electoral monitoring support groups operated independent of each other. Today, the Independent National Electoral Commission has agreed that these three key support groups come together and effectively monitor 2019 election. In line with these, officers from the Independent National Electoral Commission are here trying to improve their capacity as well as the kind of role that they are expected to play to ensure that these key monitoring groups perform effectively towards the 2019 elections. Under the EMSA is now an enhanced work frame, and this will give the Commission a 360-degree view on the implementation of electoral activities across all its operational level, from the headquarters to the state offices and also to the LGAs. Those who are here, as I said, they are the administrative secretaries of the state offices, the head of departments of the state offices, as well as the resident electoral commissioners. Therefore, you can see what it is about. It's all about the plan for the 2019 general election. INEC officers from 9 states across the Northwest attended the workshop. In Kaduna, Abdullah Mohammed, NTA.
Away from education to politics, Ogun State Governor Abeokuta has reaffirmed his total support and commitment for the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari. The governor stated this while addressing All Progressives Congress APC supporters in Abeokuta. Nta Abeokuta has more.
Is there any better way to honor and appreciate the sacrifices of the nation's fallen heroes beyond the national and gun salute every 15th of January? This was a question that arose emotions as the governor and members of the State Executive Council listened to the state chairman of the Nigerian Legion, Comrade Taufik Oluyede.
While you still beside your loved ones, you wear nice caps while you put up helmets. In the morning, you are holding the shoot alarm roads while you are hearing the sounds of bombs. You still away from you still work. You stand side by side with death so that the future generation will ensure of coming here. The sacrifice is many years for a better tomorrow.
Governor Musu noted that those who pay the ultimate price to ensure the unity of the country deserve to be honored, while their families should not be allowed to wallow in neglect and poverty. The governor launched the emblem with his donation of 5 million naira and encouraged members of the Executive Council to also make donations. The emblem launch kickstarts activities lined up for the 2019 Armed Forces and Remembrance Day celebrations. In Abeokuta, Nta Abeokuta, NTA News.
Sincerely apologize for the mix-up for facials for that story. The story on Amazon supporting President Muhammadu Buhari will be brought your way in subsequent bulletin. The Ogun State Governor Abeokuta Amosun says his government will support all initiatives and projects that will assist the fallen heroes who laid down their lives for continued peace and unity of Nigeria. This is stated at the official launch of the 2019 Armed Forces Emblem at the Executive Chambers of the Governor's Office in Okonoso, as we have just brought to you. Moving on now to politics again. As the 2019 election approaches, the issue of lack of transparency and accountability in the electoral processes continue to reinvigorate the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, advised politicians to play according to the rules. This was at the Pre-Election Stakeholders Forum in Abeokuta. Timothy Yusuf reports.
This retreat is aimed at institutionalizing transparency, accountability, and anti-corruption issues in the electoral process in Nigeria. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission believes that the inability of some state governments to pay salaries was as a result of massive looting carried out in the past to fund political campaigns.
They are putting all politicians, stakeholders on that watch. And we are ready to go to any extent to ensure that we preserve the economic patrimony of Nigeria.
Organizers of the retreat and some key election stakeholders are unanimous in their call for a new approach to politicking.
It is committed to amplify stakeholders' engagement, conversation, and understanding. We are very much alive and responsible to this sacrosanct assignment.
In another development, the presidential candidate of People's Trust, Benga Olawepo Hashim, while receiving a former African Democratic Party's presidential aspirant, Matthias Sado, says Nigeria is destined for greatness and that a united country is also possible with genuine patriotism on the part of all.
Before we unite Nigeria, those who want to lead Nigeria also must unite themselves.
Similarly, the presidential candidate of Nigeria Democratic Congress Party, NDCP, Dr. Johnson Edowosa, while receiving a cross-section of some Nigerian students, assures that the 2019 election is not a do-or-die affair, as he reaffirms his commitment to stand by issue-based campaign.
Every year I promise that we will create more than 7 million jobs and get the youth working.
The party's 10-point agenda, he says, has attempted to capture Nigeria's areas of need. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf.
The State Police Command has arrested a middle-aged man for beating his wife to death. In a statement by the public relations officer of the command, Abimbola Oyeyemi, 38-year-old Shino Kasali, who lives at Agbado in Ifo, local government area of the state, was arrested after one of the neighbors reported the incident at Agbado Divisional Headquarters. The neighbor stated that a slight argument ensued between Shino and Safiat Kasali, where he beat the deceased comer and she gave up the ghost on the way to the hospital. Oyeyemi said the corpse has been deposited at the General Hospital morgue for post-mortem investigation. Meanwhile, the police commissioner in the state, CP Ahmed Eliazu, has ordered immediate transfer of the case to Homicide Section of the State Criminal Investigation and Intelligence Department for further investigation. You're watching the Channel 12 News on Nta Abeokuta. More news after this timeout. Stay with us.
Christmas is here again. Nta Abeokuta Parking the Radisson Abeokuta presents Christmas Film Fair 2018. Date is from 6th of December, January 2019. Venue is Parking Open Bar, Parking the Radisson, Kuto, Abeokuta for State, and gate fee is 1,000 naira. Gate opens 10 a.m. daily. You can inquire, please call Olakumi on 002-322-7834. I'm Oluwafo 006-241-5881. Kemi 006-472-4147. Kende 003-572-6550. It promises to be classic. Nta Abeokuta Parking the Radisson Christmas Film Fair 2018. See you there.
Welcome back. Still on business. The Nigerian Shipping Council of Nigeria says the country is losing $9.1 billion yearly on freight revenue that's supposed to accrue into the nation's treasury. For more details on business news tonight, let's join Stella Harrison.
On Business News tonight, the Shipping Council of Nigeria, NSC, says the country is losing $9.1 billion yearly to foreign freight that should have been accrued to its treasury. The Executive Secretary of the Council, Bello, spoke on the feasibility of the proposed national carrier, noting that foreign shipping lines are milking the country dry. He said Nigeria needed to have a national carrier due to the economic impact it would have on the nation's economy, noting that Nigeria had lost so much to foreign freight shipping companies. He disclosed that NSC had approached and gotten the audience of the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, and also addressed the economic management team on the vision. He added that there were lots of reforms to be made in the sector. And that's all for Business News Tonight. I am Ayuade Enigbede.
Away from business news, we now go to arts and culture. The importance of culture, tradition, and tourism has veritable tools for promoting socio-economic development from the thrust of the third Queen Moremi Ajashoro cultural pageant, which held in the ancient town of Abeokuta, Ogun State capital. Beko Agbonda reports that custodian of Yoruba culture and tradition, led by Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, and other eminent Nigerians, graced the occasion organized by the wife of the Ogun State Governor, Olufunso Amusan.
The Oni of Ife, Obadeyeye Ogunwusi, has consistently demonstrated its desire for continued unity of the Yoruba race and the development of the culture and traditions of its people. Oba Ogunwusi showered royal blessings on Governor Ibikula Amosun for his support for Yoruba royal schools and his support for promotion of culture and tradition of Yoruba people.
Heritage and culture, we don't have any identity, and that's the truth. The better we know this, the better for the future of the country and particularly the Yoruba race.
He appreciated the governor for the developmental projects and the giant strides that his administration has accomplished in the state. Ogun State Governor Ibikula Amosun reaffirmed his administration's commitment to preserve the Yoruba culture, tradition, tourism, and language and prevent it from extinction.
We continue to propagate our culture, with culture and tourism. We can go to anywhere that we want to be, and clearly we have started.
We thank the Oni of Ife, Obadeyeye Ogunwusi, for its role in keeping the Yoruba race together and encouraging Yoruba sons and daughters to keep the flag flying, especially for bestowing the title of Moremi Ajanshoro on his dear wife. The Queen Moremi Ajanshoro cultural pageant is the third in the series being organized by His Imperial Majesty. This year's edition was hosted in Abeokuta by the wife of the governor, Olufunso Amusan, whom the royal father had bestowed with the title of Moremi Ajanshoro of Yoruba land. In Abeokuta, Beko Agbonda, NTA News.
In the same vein, the need for federal government to reorganize the positive contributions of the third religion traditional to the nation's development by involving them in national events has again been stressed. Oba Isheshe and the President Isheshe Kingdom of Truth, Culture and Traditional Worshippers of Nigeria, Chief Oluwarotimi Adifabola, stressed this at this year's Isheshe Festival held in Abeokuta. Anthony Jangan's report is hereby presented.
Witnessed by leaders and worshippers of different deities, the event is an annual festival to celebrate and offer sacrifice which appease the gods. The festival, which is the third in the series, served as avenue for worshippers to come together and celebrate. Oba Isheshe and the President Isheshe Kingdom of Truth and Traditional Religion Worshippers of Nigeria, If Oluwatimi Adifabola, renewed the call for according the traditional religion the necessary recognition in the nation's activities.
We beg them. We get 13 holiday in Nigeria. We have Muslim, Christian, and traditional worshipper in Nigeria. We are fighting for August 20 to give us holiday. That one day we want them. If they want to pray for Nigeria, let them they carry us along. Muslim, Christian, and traditional worshipper, we're supposed to be there.
The event also witnessed the installation of Chief Olatunji and Moronkola as Araba and Are Ona Kakanfo Isheshe Kingdom of Truth, Culture and Traditional Worshippers of Nigeria respectively. The new chiefs, while pledging their commitment to the development of traditional religion in the country, identified the inability of Nigerians to trace their origin as one of the factors responsible for their backward positions in the society.
I will try my best to contribute to the cultural and Isheshe tradition as far as
this country and the world is concerned.
The week-long event continues.
The Ogun State Governor, Nta Abeokuta, has reaffirmed his total support and commitment for the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari. The governor stated this while addressing all Progressives Congress APC supporters in Abeokuta. Nta Abeokuta has details.
The Ogun State Governor Nta Abeokuta, who addressed party faithful in Abeokuta, noted his resolve to work tirelessly to ensure that President Muhammadu Buhari succeeds in the forthcoming presidential election. The governor enjoined party supporters to go out en masse and join the campaign to give the president the desired victory at the polls in view of the landmark achievement of his administration. He, however, noted that he had full support for the gubernatorial ambitions of Honorable Abdulkabir Adekunle, who had defected to the Allied People's Movement. In the meantime, the aggrieved 26 candidates of the APC in the October 7th State Assembly primary had earlier announced their defection to the Allied People's Movement, noting the national headquarters of the party's denial of their mandate as a reason. The spokesperson of the 26 members, Lamidi Musefiu, at a press conference, noted that they were all ready to work and support President Muhammadu Buhari in the presidential race. In his presidential race in Abeokuta, Nta Abeokuta, NC News.
In the meantime, the role of children in the development of a society cannot be overemphasized, and as such, they should be considered in social welfare and developmental programs. This came to the fore at the Children Christmas Party organized by Odogbolu community in Odogbolu, Ogun State. Correspondent Ayuade Olegbede has details of the report.
Children are the heritage of God, and they must be adequately taken care of and given an atmosphere to thrive. It was in this direction that the Odogbolu community organized the 2018 Children Christmas Party to provide an avenue for the children to socialize with one another and feel the presence of the Yuletide period. There wasn't any dull moment as the children had the whole day to themselves to play, wine, and dine. Being the first of its kind in the 42-year celebration of the Odogbolu Day Festival, organizers of the event said the need to impact meaningfully in the lives of children cannot be overemphasized, calling on all to ensure that children are not left out in the celebrations and developmental programs.
This event is to bring the joy and happiness that's associated with Christmas to the less privileged children in the various communities in Ogun State. And by partnering with Community Development Association, it gives us access to children in the community and also help to teach them or educate them on how to do community program in partnership with private sector.
Then we have a good memory of their fathers and forefathers giving them the opportunity to participate. And when they grow up, they now continue the tradition to bring everybody together in unity and master plan for the development of the town.
Pupils and their parents expressed satisfaction while appreciating the organizers of the event for the opportunity given to them.
Kudos to them. In fact, this is a major edition, but they have done tremendously well.
I did competition and they gave I achieved the second position and they gave me gifts. I feel very happy. I'm very happy for coming today.
High point of the event was the presentation of gifts to winners of various competitions and visits to the grotto, where Santa Claus had numerous gift items for the children. The Odogbolu Day Festival continues. From Odogbolu in Ogun State, Ayuade.
On the entertainment scene, Nollywood actress Adesua Etomi joins the list of top-rated artists nominated for the Feature Awards Africa Prize for Acting. Let's join correspondent Pipe Lua Sholobo for this and more on entertainment news.
Welcome to Entertainment News. The Future Awards Africa Prize has released the highest numbers of nominations. Some of the stars who were nominated include Adesua Wellington, Ahmed Musa, Simi Ogunleye, Adekunle. Others include Bisola Ayerola and Alex Ekubo with a number of 32 votes each for acting. Also, for comedy, the highest numbers of votes are Mark Angel with a total number of 27 votes and Lasisi Eleni with 29 votes. The awards for music with its highest number of nominees are Niniola Apata, Adekunle Gold, and Simisola Ogunleye. Nollywood actor Mr. Olaoto is currently experiencing health issues and needs financial contributions to enable him seek better medical treatment. The award-winning actor was involved in a ghastly motor accident in 2016, which cost him the use of his legs, and since then he has been away from acting. However, it was observed that a fund was set up in the name of the actor, appealing for funds to enable him receive better treatment abroad. That's all for entertainment news tonight. I am Pipe Lua Shuru.
And now sports. The Nigeria Football Federation (NFF) has been urged to take proactive step by injecting new and younger blood and blend them with the present Super Falcons if the team will go beyond group stage at the forthcoming Women's World Cup in France next year. Football enthusiasts gave the advice while speaking to Anthony Gandonu on the performance of the just concluded African Women's Cup of Nations outcome.